What's going on, fitness fam? This is the second video of the body sculpting blueprint. This is the freedom fueling pillar. Extremely important. Stay tuned. Make sure you're locked in through this whole training because it's going to prove to be paramount in your progress moving forward. I designed the freedom fueling pillar to help you hit the ground running with the structure that you've been missing. This pillar helps you nourish your body with the right balance of nutrients while also enabling you to make choices that fit your goals so that you can enjoy the foods you love and learn how to build a healthy relationship with food. 4 key targets. Calories. Calories are going to control whether or not you lose or gain weight. Protein controls whether or not you maintain and or build muscle. Fruits and vegetables contributes to your overall health, improves digestion, and boosts immunity. Now, like you can build muscle, you can burn fat, but if you're not getting the right amount of nutrients, this is going to create health problems later down the road. And we're not in the business of creating health problems. We're in the business of creating healthy, lifelong habits that bring sustainable results and change the world through health and fitness, right? And so we need to make sure that we're dialing in all of these areas. Then we have water. This is going to contribute to your bodily function, your energy levels, and water retention and bloating. If you're drinking the right amounts of water, you're going to have less bloating and less water retention because your body naturally gets rid of old water it doesn't need. Now, part of this journey, part of changing your ways of living is going to require taking old beliefs and creating new beliefs. And so we're going to go over a few of those. First old belief, I just need the right diet. If I eat healthier or cut my carbs, I'll lose belly fat and build muscle. I can't eat snacks or I'll never see results. This is an old belief. Now, the new belief is that I don't have to give up my favorite foods to lose fat or to build muscle. If I focus on eating the right balance of calories and macros, then I can see the results I want without feeling deprived and falling off later. Another belief, I need willpower or proper motivation to stick to my diet. New belief, it's not about motivation or willpower. It's about having a practical plan that works for me and requires the least amount of willpower. This is how I'll develop a sustainable lifestyle of health and fitness. Old belief. There's good food and then there's bad food. I need to stay away from the bad food and I'll be good. New belief. It has nothing to do with good foods or bad foods. If I focus on hitting my calorie and my macro goals on a daily basis, I will see the results I want without feeling deprived or missing out. I don't need to shame myself to see results. Old belief. I need to be perfect and very strict with what I eat and train hours in the gym each day in order to see the results I want. A new belief, I never need to be perfect. I need to be flexible. If I'm eating a proper amount of calories and macros 80% of the time and utilizing proper sustainable training program, I will inevitably see results and keep them long term. Old belief, tracking what I eat is tedious and takes a lot of time that I don't have. A new belief, when I track what I eat, it gives me the freedom to develop a healthy relationship and understanding of food. This way, when I want to eat my favorite foods, I know that I can because I have made sure to make space for them. Excuse me. All right, now how are we going to track our foods? Okay, so we're going to need a digital food scale. You'll be using this to weigh your food easily. I've attached a link to the email to one. And like if you already have a food scale, you can use it. It just needs to be able to weigh ounces and grams, so it doesn't really matter, but I will attach a link for you. So don't worry. And we'll be tracking your food with the app itself through Trainer Eyes, and I'll walk you through how all of that works in the next slides moving forward. Setting up for success, step one. Step one is to find the email that I will be sending to you. Fill out the PAR-Q like the example posted here on the left, and make sure to check the junk and spam folder if you cannot find it. And this is going to be a step-by-step walkthrough process so that it will show you how to do everything, but I put it in here just in case. Step two is to find the second email. This will guide you through setting up your account, which I will also walk you through. So, step three is to create a password that will be easy to remember. Don't pick something you're going to forget because you want and need to be able to log into this. Step four is to fill out your basic info and add a photo. Please add a damn photo. People sign up and then there's just no face there, and it just makes it much more personable and much more easy for me to find you when I'm in the platform trying to find your program and trying to make adjustments throughout your journey. If you have an actual photo, it makes it much easier for me, so please add a damn photo. Step five is to make sure you pick the correct units for measuring. Okay, so make sure that you're picking miles and inches and pounds, not kilograms. Obviously, pick your sex and add in your other information here. Step 6 is to pick your activity level based on your activity each day. It gives you a brief explanation of this. And like, let's say your goal is burning fat. I mean, it'd be a little better to be on the less end of it, right? So, like, let's say I'm not too sure and I think I might be moderately active or I might be lightly active. Just pick the lesser one. And, as we go along, I'll be able to adjust your calories and stuff as we go anyway. So, but, just basically go off what this says and pick the one closest to what you think. Step number 7 is complete your consultation form. Pretty self-explanatory. Step number 8 is going to be download the app. This is where everything is going to be happening. This is where all your workouts will be. This is how you're going to log all your stuff, track everything. So download the app. And then this will bring you through the whole process of setting up, but it'll also be like a welcome video and, how to use it and what it has to offer and stuff. Now, if you did miss the video, I threw this in here. So if you go to the 3 dots at the bottom of your screen on your dashboard, the main dashboard will be the little rocket ship. But if you go to the 3 dots on the right and then scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see watch getting started video. Now this is going to show you exactly what you missed the first time around. I actually had to have it in me when I set up my own and I was super confused of like, what did I miss, right? But it's not that important. It's here anyway if you ever need it. Important note. Now, you do not have to hit your calories and protein to the exact number. Although the closer, obviously, the better. For calories, you have a 100 plus or negative calorie cushion. For example, if your calorie goal is 1,500 calories, do not eat any less than 1,400 calories and do not eat any more than 1,600. You'll always stay in a range from 14 to 16 until we adjust and we change as you go. But you have that 100-calorie window. For protein, you have a 10-gram cushion. Okay, so for example, if your protein goal is 120, that means you want no less than 110 grams daily. Now, for protein, you can go over and it's not going to be a negative thing. It'll actually be extremely beneficial. So don't worry about that. As long as your calories are within range, then your protein goes over, that's okay. What about carbs and fats? You do not need to worry about hitting carbs or fats. There will be goals uploaded for you that just come naturally in there when I set your macros, but you don't have to worry about it. They have little impact on your results, and obsessing over them is just going to make building this into a lifestyle a billion times more difficult. I set the percentages for carbs and fats, like I said, just to make sure it works with your protein goal and your calorie goal, so they're set to the proper amounts. Your main priority is your protein goal and your calorie goal. Fruits and vegetables. Okay, so to make things very simple and very easy, your fruits and vegetable goals are 8 ounces of vegetables and 8 ounces of fruit daily, every single day. This does not need to be set up as a goal in the app. You just need to make sure you're logging and eating this much fruit and veggies every day, which I'll show you how to do shortly. This is where you're going to get a lot of your daily nutrients and overall health and longevity from. This will also provide lots of fiber, which is very important for digestion. Your water goal. To calculate your water goal, simply take your current body weight in pounds and multiply it by 0.54. Drink this many ounces of water daily. For example, 150 pounds times 0.54 equals 81 ounces of water daily. Hydration is extremely important. This needs to be a priority. All right. Where to get the most accurate food nutrition information? As you use the app to track, you may find that not all food information is 100% accurate. And in order to get the most accurate information, I suggest using a few different sources. The most accurate nutrition labels. So this will be your most accurate and convenient source of nutrition information. The nutrition label located on the food that you buy at the store gives you all the information that you need to ensure you log the most accurate information. I suggest that you always use the nutrition information in the form of measurement units, grams, ounces, millimeters, milliliters, etc., instead of general measurements like tablespoons, teaspoons, cups, etc., as general measurements tend to be varying each time you use them. So, like, if I have, let's say I have a 1 cup of broccoli, and they're diced up, and then I have 1 cup of like minced broccoli. It's going to be completely different weights. It's going to be different calories, but yet it's still just 1 cup. So it appears the same, but I'm actually eating different amounts, and that can hinder your progress long term. Excuse me. Reading a nutrition label, it'll have the serving per container. There'll be 4 servings. A serving size is 1 cup. So per 1 cup, this is how many calories you would have. They'll have a quick guide of percentages of your daily value, each on the right here. And then your nutrients. So it'll have your fats, carbs, proteins, everything in here. The next most accurate online nutrition database. There are lots of great online nutrition databases that can help provide you with accurate nutrition information if the food you purchase doesn't have a label on it. Simply search the food you want to get nutrition for, and it's most likely there. And if you want cooked nutrition, just add the word cooked at the end. The most accurate for eating out, like, because we're going to be living life, right? We're not trying to change our entire lives. We're trying to develop new daily lifelong habits that are going to give us lasting results. And so people go out for dinner, right? How do we do this? What do we do? How do we log? The company and restaurant's website, usually nowadays, it's 2025, has a nutrition database. And if you type it in, like, you can find exactly what you're eating. More and more companies are beginning to include this on their websites. So if you can't find the information on an online nutrition database, Google search term the restaurant's name and nutrition info, and it should pop up right away. Like, I've rarely had a time when it doesn't, but if it doesn't, I'll show you how to do that later. So, like, for example, if I was at Boston Pizza, I just type in Boston Pizza nutritional information. And as you can see here, like, the first thing that pops up is nutrition facts for Boston Pizza. It's very, very simple. And this way we're making sure that we're still logging and tracking when we're going out. And again, this is very important in building and developing a relationship and understanding of food moving forward because, we're building a lifelong journey here, right? So we want to take every step that we can right now to make sure that this impacts the rest of our lives. The next most accurate for eating out, Googling nutrition info for the food genre. If you can't find the information of the company's website, Google the search term, whatever food you're eating, genre of restaurant, nutrition info, and Google will provide you some generic menu nutrition information for the type of food you'll be having. I'll show you an example on the next slide. So let's say you're having a Mexican fajita bowl, right? So you type in Mexican fajita bowl nutrition information, and this is going to bring up some options. And like this is obviously not going to be 100% accurate, but in terms of logging and tracking, this is going to be more beneficial than not logging or tracking anything. And it also keeps you in the habit of making sure that you're logging your stuff on a daily basis. Social events and last ditch efforts. Googling nutrition info for the specific food. If someone else is cooking food at a social event or you can't find the specific restaurant or generic restaurant info, then you can simply Google the search term food, whatever it is, nutrition info, and Google will provide you with some generic nutrition information for the type of food you will be having. For example, if I'm having lasagna, I can type in lasagna nutritional information, let's say my grandma's house or something, and there's lasagna being made. I can at least type this in and find a general idea of what I'm going to be eating. So again, at least I'm tracking, at least I'm putting in effort, and at least I'm still building a relationship with the process of doing this and understanding what's good, what's not, and continuing to move forward. How to log and track foods. So now that I have your goals set up in the app and you know how to find accurate nutrition information, I'll show you how to accurately log your food in the app. And there'll be a few key points before I do this. You need to be logging everything that you eat and drink. If you do not do this, your results will suffer. And I'm going to show you later in this onboarding how to do this in 5 minutes or less each day so it doesn't ruin your whole day. It doesn't take a ton of fucking time. Make it very simple, make it very easy to do. And also, like, as you continue to move forward, like, it's going to get easier and easier. It's going to start off maybe, 10 15 minutes the first time, but it should get easier as you go. And I'll show you how to do that. But you need to log everything. So, like, if you're drinking something that has calories, it needs to be logged. If you're eating something that has calories, it needs to be logged. And one thing to be mindful of is the cooking oils that you use. Those can be sneaky, and if you don't log them, they can really show up later. All right, you should be weighing your food with a kitchen food scale before cooking. If you're unable to weigh your food raw, then you can weigh it cooked. However, your nutrition information will be different, so make sure that you use, the nutrition facts for the cooked version of the food. I'll show you how to do this shortly. You should measure your food out in specific measurement units, grams and ounces. You should avoid tracking using measurements such as tablespoons, teaspoons, or cups when possible, like I said, because it is less accurate. Okay, so like this is a food scale, and this is how it works. So on the left side in this example is the units, and on the right side is the power and the tare or tar. I don't know how to pronounce it, but anyway, when you first turn on your food scale, bang, press the power button. It's going to light up, turn on, and it may be in grams, pounds, ounces, milliliters, whatever. Now, if you want to change the measurement type, you use the unit button and you click that until it's on grams or ounces or whatever you're trying to measure it. Now, if you want to put something on the scale and then only weigh what's inside of it, like these strawberries, you would simply put the bowl or the plate or whatever on top of the scale. It'll come up with the number of the weight of the item, and then you press this button, the tare or tar button, and then it'll bring the scale back to zero. So then, whatever you put inside of the bowl, like these strawberries, will be the only thing weighed on the scale. And that's how you weigh things with a bowl. All right, step one for actually logging in the app. Okay, so you're going to click on the plus sign here. So when you're, like I said, the dashboard is with the little rocket ship. There'll be this plus sign above my beautiful face. And you click the plus sign. It'll pop up this option here. You click on meal. And then you want to take a photo. Okay, so like this is important. This is going to help you later on. Okay, so make sure that you actually, if you can, take a picture of the photo, or sorry, a photo of the meal or the item. So in this example, it's a Rockstar lemonade. These are fucking good, and I love them. So I take a picture of it. Next step, boom, go to the barcode. Okay, so there's going to be a barcode scanner, and I can scan the barcode. It'll pop up with a little item down here showing me what it is, and then I click add, and this will add it. Now, if you don't have a barcode, again, take a picture of the food. In this case, it's a whole meal, right? Take a photo. Next step. So now I want to actually individually add the items in this meal, okay? And this is very important and helpful if you're doing meal preps and you want to keep using those same meals. Like it's really good to have the photo and it's all in there because it will save this information. And then next time you want to add it, you don't have to do this whole fucking process, right? So, for example, I'll type in steak. I'll find the type of steak that it is. It's a flank steak. And because I already weighed it, like I told you to do, it's 6 ounces. I can change this too. So, like if you click on this button here, so it'll give you the measurement option. Right here it says ounces, but before it could have said one steak or one piece or one serving, like these ones. And so you actually click on this bar and you can pick the measurement type based on the measurement you used when you cooked it. And then you type in the amount here. Again, you just click on this button and you can change the number. And then it'll tell you right above it how many calories. And then you push the plus sign and it will add it to the top here. As you can see, it says 413 calories at the top now. And so then I go to the next item in my meal, which was broccoli. I type in broccoli, find it here, broccoli raw, and it's got the check mark. Pick grams as the units that I was measuring in, 50 grams. Press the plus sign, and then it'll actually change this number up top as well. As you can see now, it's 477. And then I just keep doing this step by step for every item that's in my meal. Okay, so sweet potato, oven roasted sweet potatoes, grams, 50 grams of potatoes, check mark, boom, puts it up top. Then, once I have everything that's in that meal ready, I click the review button at the top right, and this will bring me to this page here. Okay, so now this is where you just want to go through and confirm that all your items, flank steak, broccoli, sweet potatoes, everything is there that you wanted to add. And then it'll tell you the calories, it'll tell you the grams, see 51 grams here of protein, carbs, fats, which again, these don't matter too much, but as long as your protein and calories is here, you're good. Excuse me. And then if this is good and this is all that's in there, awesome. You just click log, but if it's not, you have the option down here to add more food, so you can always go back and add more food later. And then back in the dashboard, you can see the amounts that are remaining for easy tracking. In the next slides, I'll show you how to add foods to your favorite, which also makes it a lot easier moving forward. So like, as you can see here, again, at the rocket ship is your dashboard, and this will be your things to do today. The first thing up here is your nutrition goals, right? And so you'll have your total calorie goal here on the left, and with the calories remaining on the right. You'll also have your protein goal here on the left, and then the amount remaining on the right. This makes it really easy to see where you're at, and like if you pop it up, you're like, oh crap, I need 50 grams of protein still, and I'm short on calories. You can make easier decisions based on that information. And then, so yeah, if you want to add a food to favorites, which is super helpful and important, you will click on the wording here, 5 meals added. It'll take you to this screen. And let's say I wanted to add, so like I have 3 scoops of protein every day. So I have one and a half before the gym, one and a half after the gym, and I eat it every day. So I want to save that to favorites so it's easily available to log later. So I'll go into this option here and right next to the food, these 3 dots, if I click on those, find this word save to favorites, click on that, and then you just type in whatever unique name that it's going to help you remember what it is, and then click save, and then that will add it to favorites. Another thing on the main logging section, when you're logging your foods, like this is where we were typing in the different types of food that we were going to have in our meal. There's 3 options: recent, favorites, and custom. Recents, favorites, and custom. Recents will just show like these options here. Like, like I eat egg whites a lot, so there's egg white options down here. This is a bun that I ate a day prior, so like that's there. Onions, eggs, like it'll just have recent things that you've searched and used here. The favorites is obviously the favorites that I just showed you how to log. That'll be waiting for you to relog or add to the next day. And then custom is where you can actually like customize recipes and stuff like that. Now, when you want to add a meal on the screen where it lets you take a photo, there are other options at the bottom as well. After you've used the app a while, this is why taking a picture is important. You'll have food saved in the recents for a quick and easy add option, which I'll show you in the next slide. So as you pop up the add a food, it'll go to this screen to take a picture. Now, if you're adding something that's already been added, you just click on the recents down here, and it'll take you to the screen here. Now, so like this gives you all the options of foods that have recently been added. Okay. And so if you want to, I think you can only do 3 at a time. They keep changing it though and updating the app, so it might change later. So like let's say I know for a fact I'm gonna have this meal, and I know for a fact I'm gonna have this meal, and I know I'm gonna have this protein, and and then I can click the check mark. So it'll be a little circle like this, and then I click it, it becomes a check mark, and then I click log. And once I click log, it actually adds it to my day. All right, how to plan your day in 5 minutes. Step 1 is going to be set up a reminder in your phone. Okay, go to the clock section of your phone, click the plus sign, and add a new alarm. Set it to a time in the evening where you're winding down, a time that you're always available and always at home, 7, 8 p.m. maybe, and set it to repeat daily. Label the alarm meal plan for tomorrow. All right, there's just an example of my setting up a clock. I hit the plus sign, pick the time, meal plan for tomorrow, and I turn snooze off. Step 2 is to start planning. So when your alarm goes off each night, open up the app, hit the right arrow on the top bar next to the word today, and this will show you the log for tomorrow. As you can see here, so when you go to the dashboard, you'll have your daily nutrition goal, and if you click the right arrow right here, it will bring you to tomorrow. Then you want to add a meal. And now this is where you're going to set it up. Okay, so you're going to start by adding half your daily fruits goals to your first meal. And then you'll add 2 scoops of protein powder. Once you have them ready, click review and then save. So in this example, so your daily goal is 8 ounces of fruit. So I have breakfast and first meal, right? I'm going to have 4 ounces of blueberries. And I'm planning this for tomorrow, right? Got the check here. We're good to go. And then 2 scoops of protein. I'm going to click the check mark. Good to go. Click review. And then we're good to go. Add it. So, and then for the second meal, you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to add a protein shake and 4 ounces of veggies and 4 ounces of fruit. So for this example, I got my scoop of protein powder. I got 4 ounces of broccoli and then 4 ounces of banana. Log it. Good to go. For the third meal, you're going to add another 2 scoops of protein. I think so. There's 5 scoops total, and 4 ounces of veggies. Hydropro protein, that's the one I use. Some spinach, let's say. Add that. As you can see in this example, it puts you over your protein and leaves you with almost 700 calories left. So the reason why we're doing this, and like this will change over time, like as you continue to move forward and build and develop relationships with food, it's going to be much easier to use and utilize foods that are higher in protein and less in calories. And this is going to be a lifelong thing, right? So in the beginning, if you're not that familiar with it, if you just simply use protein powder and make sure you're hitting your veggies and your fruits on a daily basis, you're going to see results. And what happens is, like I said, so at this point, 11 grams remaining for protein. Anything you eat basically is going to bring that in. And as you can see, all we've done is our fruits, vegetables, and make sure we're hitting our protein, right? And so, like any other of the other meals that we have in the day, is probably going to have some protein in it. It's going to put you at your protein goal, and you still have this many calories left. With this many calories, you can eat whatever the fuck you want, and you're still going to see results because this calorie goal is, if you're in for fat loss, then this calorie goal is going to be your deficit. And if this calorie goal is your goal for building, then that's your calorie goal that you need to hit. So you don't need to worry about adjustments. I do that, and you just make sure that you're hitting these marks. So, like I said, these calories that you have left are where you can eat anything that you love. And like, don't start trying to use these calories on healthy foods. I mean, you'll adjust and adapt as you go, obviously. Or only good foods and trying to avoid eating stuff you like. This is literally when you should be eating the bad stuff or the unhealthy stuff that you like. Okay. And if you don't, you're just going to go insane, feel like you're deprived and restricted, constantly requiring willpower, and end up binge eating after a week or two. And then you're going to feel like shit. You're going to beat yourself up. You're going to fall off track. And this is why people don't get lasting results, because they'll see some progress in the beginning. They'll fricking, be so hard on themselves, and they'll remove everything that they like and enjoy. And then before you know it, they're back where they started or fucking worse. Okay. Side note, there will be a meal plan uploaded to your account. This will have endless meal ideas to keep things new and exciting for you. If you get bored of normal meals, like, I don't tell anyone to eat a specific meal plan, but there will be one uploaded for you that'll give you all sorts of different recipes and stuff that you can play around with, which I think is super cool. All right, so this is an example of one of my clients, of one of their nutrition days that they fucking were on point. So as you can see here, there was 3 meals added. She ate 3 meals. Excuse me. So her calorie goal is 1,500 calories. She still had 63 calories remaining at the end of the day, and went 8 grams over her protein. So like, this is amazing. This is a great representation of what it can look like to hit your goals. And so, like, if you look her breakfast, she's got her homemade cashew milk, frozen mango chunks, banana, Starbucks. So, like, she's having coffee, she's having the things she loves. Meal replacements, got her protein in it. Like her lunch right here. I don't even know what that is. Baby Bell Original. I don't know what that is, but rich chocolate caramel protein bar. Like, she's developed strategies and structure that fits into her life that she enjoys, and is going to help her move forward long term, right? And then dinner, cucumber, bell peppers, chicken thighs, kale, broccoli, cauliflower, snow peas, and whatever that is, mushroom, probably a sauce or something. But as you can see, this isn't like some crazy fucking perfect, oh, I'm only eating this, like, she's got Starbucks in here and she's got other things that she likes in here, and she still hit her goal, right? So it's like, it's just literally a matter of developing strategies and structure that works for you, and making sure that you're treating yourself, right? And like, this could have been a day where she's like super on point, right? And then there's another day where she's like, you know what, I'm gonna have some treats today, and still fall within her calorie and her macro goals, right? So it's like, it's not about being super hard on yourself or being perfect. You never want to try to be perfect. You want to just try to show up and do the best you can, and just make sure you're hitting the mark in your numbers, and like, your results will be inevitable. Now, the first time that you do this will probably take you closer to 10 to 15 minutes, because, like anything at first, the first time you do it, it takes a little longer than usual, and that's okay. But like I said, after you do this a few times, it should only take you 5 minutes or less. And like, this is just planning your day in advance, right? So like, you set up your fruits, your vegetables, your protein, you know exactly what you're fucking doing the next day, you know exactly what you're eating. And then you have an open window for the foods that you love, right? All right, most people eat the same 10 to 50 foods every month. So once you've built it in your own little food database in the app, it'll be super fast for you to plug things in. And since most people also eat a lot of the same things every day, you can very easily copy and paste food items over as I showed you before. This is when it becomes super simple. Like for me, it's like, okay, so like, I know I'm having this, I know I'm having that, I know I'm having this. Most of the time, like, I'll have all the same meals throughout the day, and like, dinner is usually the one that shifts and adjusts, right? So like, then I know like what's my window for my dinner time where I can eat X amount of calories. Like, I don't need to be so crazy and stressed out all day long, because I fucking already know exactly what I'm doing. How to track your water. This is super simple. You just log it like any other food as shown in the previous slides. A bonus tip, you can download the water reminder app and set it up with your info and use it to track and remind you to drink. So it looks like. Water reminder. So this is for Android. I don't have an iPhone. I have an Android, and this is the app that I use. And it's super simple. You just download it and put in your information, and then it actually like just makes like a swooshing sound or whatever every time you're supposed to drink. It'll take the time that you wake up to the time that you go to bed, and it'll determine based on your weight and everything how much water you need to drink in that day. And so it just gives you this goal, and every time it makes the noise, you open it up and just drink however much it says you need to drink, and then you'll hit your goal every day. Frequently asked questions. What if I'm not sure what I want to eat the next day? Doesn't matter. Just plan anyway. You can always make adjustments if you need to. And this isn't me telling you to plan and then the next day when you're worried about if you're going to enjoy the plan, say screw it and go back to eating a bunch of random shit like usual. Like you need to stay on point. You need to eat things that you know you need to eat. I don't eat bad. Is it, isn't it okay if I just don't go crazy with my calories and eat whatever I want? No, this doesn't work, right? We've done this. We've tried this. Thousands of people, including yourself, have tried this, and it does not work. It is ineffective. You need to track. You need to plan. You need to do these strategies, or else you're just gonna end up back where you were, right? And like you didn't pay for this course, you didn't pay for this program, you didn't pay for my coaching so that you could go back to where you were. Like that's not what we're here to do. And it's not, it's not what you want. So make sure you're tracking. And if you're struggling along the way, reach out, ask for help. I'm here. I'm going to support you. The community is going to love you and support you. So don't feel like you're ever alone. And yeah, it's not sustainable, right? This is sustainable. Question: what if I'm unsure what I'm going to have available to eat at a party or social function? Plan to hit your fruits, vegetables, and protein goals in as few as calories as possible. You'll be left with a chunk of your calories left. The next day, once you do know the plan out what you want to use the remainder of your calories on. And no, that does not mean getting rid of protein so that you can have 6 cookies instead of 2. Okay, your protein and your calorie goal is very, very, very important. Okay, as you eat more protein, your body burns more calories digesting it, and so protein is going to fill you up more and it's going to help you reach your goals. Question: what about if I haven't mentioned it at this point? It is probably not important, all right? What you do not need to worry about: tracking carbs and fats. You don't need to worry about tracking your carbs and fats, okay? You don't need to worry about eating clean. You don't need to worry about what foods are good or bad. You don't need to worry about cutting out any foods, not eating out, going out for dinners. You don't need to worry about eliminating carbs or meal timing or meal prepping everything. You don't need to worry about giving your life up. This is a program designed to give you sustainable, lasting results. And we do that one step at a time, one meal at a time, one day at a time. It's not about being perfect. It's never going to be about being perfect. It's about being authentic, honest, showing up as you are, and admitting your flaws and reaching out for support. That's all this is, right? And like when we do check-ins and stuff, that's all it's about, right? So don't fucking worry about being perfect or, changing your entire life all at once. That's not what we're here for. And if you made it to the end of this slide, send me a message with the word pickle so that I know you completed it. And again, I just want to say I'm super proud of you and honored to be a part of your journey. I take this very seriously, but I also am very flexible and understanding. Okay, so I'm here for you 100% every step of the way. Whatever you need, reach out to me. Okay, so I've had clients in the past that struggle and then they don't reach out and they feel ashamed or something. Like I'm going to be mad at them. I'm not going to be fucking mad at you, okay? I'm here to help you. I'm here to serve you. I'm here to propel you forward to your best possible outcome. But in order to do that, you have to be real with me, right? So, talk to you soon.